Chapter 6 The Underwear Problem. In Miss Williams' class, there were only 20 minutes between lunchtime and break time. It was during that 20-minute period that Bo Haney managed to notify the entire third grade class that Robbie York wore superhero underwear. 20 minutes can be a wonderfully short period of time. It is exactly the length of time it takes to ride the Total Panic roller coaster at Wonderworld, 18 minutes to wait in line, 2 minutes to ride, to eat a vanilla strawberry swirl frozen yogurt with crushed Butterfingers on top, Robbie's favorite, to have a fire drill. 20 minutes can also be a terribly long period of time. It is exactly the length of time it takes to get a cavity filled at the dentist, to take a pop quiz in spelling, to eat a large helping of his mother's broccoli casserole. The 20 minutes that it took Bo to notify the class that Robbie wore superhero underwear was the longest 20 minutes in Robbie's life. Bo had noticed Robbie's superhero underwear in the boys' bathroom just after lunch. "Hey, Wobby," he called to Robbie. "What's on your underwear?" Robbie was tucking in his shirt. He looked down at his underwear with a puzzled look. He hadn't spilled anything at lunch. What could Bo be talking about? "Nothing," he answered. "Yes, there is," said Bo. Robbie didn't like the sound of Bo's voice. It had a teasing kind of sound to it. Bo had managed to get the attention of all the other boys in the bathroom. They all stopped washing their hands and looked over at Robbie and Bo. "Does baby Wobby have little superheroes on his undies?" Bo asked in a baby voice. 2 boys at the sink snickered. Up until that afternoon, Robbie had no idea that there was anything wrong at all with superhero underwear. All his underwear had pictures on it. Superheroes, G.I. Joe, even cartoon pals. His face turned red. He was suddenly glad he hadn't worn cartoon pals. Robbie hurried out of the boys' bathroom, looked down at the floor. He didn't look up until he sat down in his seat in Mrs. Williams' classroom. It was then that the longest 20 minutes of Robbie's life began. Psst. He looked across the classroom. He could see Bo working on something at his desk. It was quiet reading time. Bo should not have been working on anything. Robbie couldn't concentrate on his reading. He couldn't think of anything but what was on that paper that Bo was working on. Bo began folding the sheet of paper. He folded it once, twice, 3 times, then dropped it over his shoulder onto Tom's desk. Somehow, Robbie knew that the note was about him. Tom unfolded the paper, then looked over at Robbie. He poked Bo in the back and laughed quietly. Tom folded the note and passed it back over his shoulder to Sue. She passed it to Pat. On and on the note went. When the note was being passed down the rows of desks besides Robbie, he peeked over and caught a glimpse of the note. It was even worse than he expected. In the middle of the page, Bo had drawn a picture of a boy in a cape flying through the air like one of the superheroes. Under the picture, Bo had written, "Baby Wobby wears superhero underwear." He had drawn an arrow from the words to the boy. Robbie stretched his neck even farther to read the words at the bottom of the page. "It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Super Wobby." Robbie slumped down lower into his seat. He wished a black hole would open up in the floor and swallow him. He had started the day with such high hopes. Now everything seemed hopeless. He slipped his notebook out of his desk and turned to his list. He crossed out number 2, get jeans. Beside it, he wrote, get new underwear. Jeans seemed like the least important thing in the world. Now he would settle for a pair of new underwear. The terrible year just got worse. And that is the end of chapter 6.